Uh, Hi, welcome to Alvin 211 Media. We are very delighted to host you today, and just feel free. We're, we're really delighted. First of all, we will love to know you. You actually tell us who you are so that we can continue.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to introduce myself, as well as thank you to your media. You're doing a great job. My name is Kush. I'm a student here in Kenya, studying at University of Nairobi, doing
Okay,
a bachelor degree.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Um, what do you, Kervino?
Yes.
Uh, what has called you to, or what has brought us here? We need to discuss some little bit of things, much more on South Sudanese cultures, South Sudanese their way of living. Yeah. So, what do you know actually about South Sudan?
Actually, if I can, it's a very nice question about the South Sudanese culture. Uh, as the world evolved, South Sudan also evolved. The cultures also changed. So
Yes.
we are no longer at certain culture that we used to be some time back. So
Yeah.
there is a kind of diversity, and there is a change of cultures and the improvement of cultures as well. So from a scientific point of view, there is a kind of a little improvement of the culture.
Of the cultures.
Yeah, of the cultures, and
Yeah.
there are the things that we left behind of the cultures as well that are not actually important unless if at the moment.
Okay. Okay. So, actually, it's like South Sudan is heading somewhere.
We are definitely heading
Yeah.
somewhere,
Yeah.
even where we used to be.
Yeah.
So, for example, at the moment, like South Sudanese are embracing many cultures. Like I am a South Sudanese in Kenya, so I learn a lot about Kenya. I I speak their language, the Swahili. I eat their food. So we don't usually eat sukuma wiki in South Sudan, and we eat it here in Kenya, and we feel comfortable about it. Some are even willing to take it back home and make a plant of it and grow it.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
this is something positive that is taken
Yeah.
and that is added to our culture as well. So
Okay.
yeah,
So we are gaining.
we are gaining, and we also South Sudanese are like humbles, and they are absolutely known for their generosity. So other people are also gaining from
Yeah.
us.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. So now about South Sudan. Uh, I'm aware that it recently added to the East African community. Yeah. Uh, in comparison to other countries in the East Africa, in that context, how can you compare South Sudan to this country in East Africa, mostly Kenya?
Yeah, that is one of the great questions you asked me about South Sudan being added to the East African community. For me, I would say it's a good idea in terms of business relations and in terms of actually the trade and the people interaction. So actually, South Sudan have been so much. There is that difference between South Sudan and other African countries because we've been used to Arab ways of living in the past. We're used to Arab's food, and also those positive things. There are a lot of positive things from the Arab, and there's a lot, but that doesn't change the fact the reason why we separate the country is because of oppressions and the what we call it the marginalizations and
Yeah, yeah, sure.
inequality in resource distribution. So that was the reason that we were added to. Is not actually the reason that we are added to East African, but is the reason that we have our own countries, so we can be able to identify ourselves, and we can able to know who to relate with and who to
Yeah,
not
yeah, sure.
associate with. So
Yeah, actually.
I think
Okay, in terms of in terms of development, economy, and this way of interaction, actually, this social life. Yeah, where do you think South Sudan is heading, is moving at that fast rate, of obtaining that high on and quality life? Are they standardizing the life of their citizen compared to other countries in East Africa? And when we talk about economy, basically, let's talk about economy. Is it moving at that fast rate compared to other countries in East Africa?
Yeah, the question is very important. I am not an economist, but I will give my point of view.
Yeah, actually, on the way that we are actually seeing it moving.
Yes.
These things affect us. They also affect other countries. Now we need to compare them, see how they are coming out.
Okay. I will refer you back to when we get our independence. So, South Sudan was one of the fastest growing economy in Africa until 2013, when there was a war that broke out. So at the moment, it is at its worst. Not at, I can't say it is at its best. Just recently, we heard that the one of the oils is given in loan until 2027. So
Yeah.
We can't say South Sudan is at this standard. It can sustain the citizens. Actually, I can say no, but it has the potential.
It has the potential, to move higher.
So when we go to the drawing board, like we embrace peace, because everything is peace.
Yeah.
When there is peace, the economy grows.
Yeah.
We have the investors from East Africa, in Africa, and from Sudan as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, now you say that we were moved from northern part. Now we were like one. Currently, as we speak, how is South Sudan compared to the Sudan?
South Sudan compared to Sudan, there is actually, to be honest with you, I can give my point that there is no big difference between South Sudan and Sudan at current state.
Yeah.
They are at the level whereby the citizen doesn't like the government. It's the same thing that is happening in Sudan. The other day they said a problem in South Sudan is also a problem in Sudan. So
Okay.
we are just if there is a difference, it will be just a very small in terms of economics. So it's just a tiny difference, but we are on the same level.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. So, when we are talking about South Sudanese,
Yes.
South Sudanese people, their diversity, their cultures, their way of living, what is their uniqueness in Africa or compared to other countries?
South Sudanese have certain uniqueness. They're actually unique in terms of height. They're actually unique in terms of their character. They're actually unique in terms of, let's say, not just big, but in terms of their color as well. South Sudanese are known for how they play basketball. For example, we have Luol Deng in NBA.
Yeah.
We have Manute Bol, who happen to be the tallest person ever. So we are unique. Like the average height of South Sudan is a bit higher.
Yeah.
We are also unique in terms of our generosity. We have a generosity that is into another level. So, for example, here in Kenya, when you get a South Sudanese in a bus that you are traveling,
Yeah.
just by spotting it, you pay their fare.
Yeah.
Just because you are
sure.
South Sudanese.
Yeah.
And
You can also pay for your fares if you have enough.
If you have enough, you
Yeah.
can pay for them.
So that's
that
a
is
generosity.
actually a generosity,
Yeah,
and
sure.
they are also kind. They are like accommodative. Okay,
Yeah,
they
sure.
can, like, when you go to South Sudanese home, there are many in one house. Like this show the level of accommodative. Yeah.
Does that one give them advantage? That uniqueness that you have mentioned concerning height, their generosity, yes, their talents, yes. Does that one give them any impact in their way of living right now, in the current state?
Yes, it has a very positive impact. It has a very positive impact. So, for example, there are many children that could be in South Sudan have no chance of education. but they are here in Kenya accommodated by their relative. So they got a chance to stay at their homes and studies and completed their studies.
Sure.
So in that one, it also raised the impact. It raised the literacy rate of our nation. We have many people that will.
So if you can take someone from village or maybe from home,
you
bring him
accommodate them
or her to your house,
Yes.
live there, study in your house, you pay for the school fees, then later on they grew up. They became the person that they want.
Yes.
So that's
this is
wonderful.
also a uniqueness, and also you can see the uniqueness of the hive. We can see the impact that is being brought home by Lualden, creating. We are now at a good level. The most improved sport in Africa is the South Sudan national basketball team. So it's the most improved currently in Africa. So this is also the impact. So
sure. So that's giving them advantage of accomplishing their dreams. That's wonderful. That's very much wonderful. When we want to talk about the youth, South Sudanese youth, their way of living, their way of pursuing their things. Now let's attach this to your career. You just mentioned about doing medicine. You're doing a bachelor in medicine, right? Yeah. And because that you're doing, it's not common to many South Sudanese youth, to many South Sudanese young people. It's a course that people fear, that is exhaustive. It wastes a lot of resource. You cannot graduate very easily. It takes you a lot of time in campus. Yeah. So how did you come up with that decision, and what can you tell our youth about it?
Thank you. It's a very, very most. It's actually an important question because it touches many areas of our life in Kenya. It touches the life of student years in Kenya, South Sudanese student in particular. Actually, there is this thing that we do that we can, like, let me say, not all the inspiration. We don't need all the inspiration or all the quotes.
Yeah.
So you use what worked for you. For me, I will tell you that one thing that is persistent and focused can always get me like 80% of everything that I need. So that is for me. If I have to do this, if I am focused on certain things, I have to be resilient and persistent, and then put focus on it, so it will work. So for the sake of our students or the youth in Kenya here who came from South Sudan, so we will look at it that we are here in this country for a reason. If you come here as a tourist, you came here for a reason. Actually, you tour, you came here to study, you also
want to study.
So I am not sure if there is any person who traveled from South Sudan to Kenya who came here to take drugs.
So what matters is the focus. Focus and get determined to do whatever things you want. It won't be hard. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So now, what can you tell the youth, particularly the youth in Kenya, in South Sudan, and other countries?
Yeah. We have youth. Our youth, like our number is South Sudanese is increasing in Kenya. It is also the most in Egypt and in Uganda. So also in Sudan. So as a youth, we went to other countries for a reason. We were not safe in our own country. We went there. So some of us got advantage that they pursued their education, then go give back to the community. So I can tell the youth that they should not engage in things that doesn't add value to our country. And they also I will talk about the media as well. So we should put a positive impact on the media. We should not view media as where we put our ego, where we fight our government, where we suggest we pour all our heart, what we feel. Okay, so there is something more important of that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to give back to our country. We're supposed to give a positive comment to our country. So it's not about our cultural difference, our religious difference, our tribal difference. So about the media, we should take this very important.
Very important, yeah, actually. So what should be done by the youth is focus on what they should do.
Focus on what they are
Maybe
doing in that
education,
country.
whatever thing
If it
that
is
they are doing.
education, yes.
Yeah. So they should leave about politics, other things that might, in one way or another, destroy their lives.
Yeah, but
Or
make
maybe shift their
a
focus from
positive
doing.
contribution toward our
Yeah,
political views. You know, it's good to be like an activist, to be against something. It's allowed to be against
Okay,
something,
okay,
but
how can, how,
positively
okay,
and be
okay,
pragmatic.
okay, how can they be actually, uh, how can they contribute specifically back to their politics, to their way, the way that they are doing their things? How can they do that? How can a youth actually involve himself or themselves into that activity or political?
Okay, first of all, the youth, if you need to focus on politics, there is certain level that you should be, not for me, it just, if you want to focus on politics, you first, number one that comes first, you have education. Education will come first so that you have something like, you be a problem solver. You see problem and you solve. So education will help you like in your argument. It will help you have a very realistic argument. It help you understand what you are criticizing or what you are against or what you like. So you first of all have a learning. It's a, if it is not education, you have the mindset of learning yourself. Like, you know, is this what I'm arguing about or what I'm against about as a youth? Uh, Very pragmatic, very realistic. So you also need to look into certain things. But to involvement in the government, uh, it's actually, leadership is practiced anywhere. You can practice leadership at home. You can practice leadership in school. That is all the way to politics. So
Yeah.
it's all
So
about
an
leadership.
open-minded youth should have that real critical assessment of their political practices. The way,
Assessment.
yeah, actually, they should actually support their government, not maybe criticizing it. Yeah, because when you criticize and support, they are different. When you're criticizing at the youth level, it means your interest is under someone, right? Yeah. So they should actually support the government for the development to continue, and then for their benefit. Is that the thing?
I am not saying actually the youth should support the government or criticize the government or do. I am saying the contribution should be like a positive criticism. You are not working for the government. We are working for our own country. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
we should do this for our own country, for the goodness of our people. It's
Yeah.
not about the government. We are like the youth are very separate from the government.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so we look at the ground and then we advise at the top. So the voice of the voiceless. So those who are educated.
Ah, okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Kerbino. We have really enjoyed being with you. The ideas, they are very, very, very well analyzed, and we would love to be with you next time. You are very much welcome. Yeah. Thank you very much. What can you tell the youth about our channels? I think they.
You hit the like button, you subscribe, you share. Actually, it's one of the great initiatives from our brother. It's a media. This is how we use media. It's also the way of like making it better, using media in the
Yeah,
better way.
sure.
So,
Yeah, sure.
so
So thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel. You might have also a page that we can also follow. Maybe someone that wants to link up with you in one way or another.
I am actually on the Facebook as Carbino Gatkoe, and I'm on LinkedIn as Carbino Gatkoe. Yeah,
Instagram.
my Instagram now.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.